not a real thing. EDM is not a real thing. EDM is not a real thing. EDM is not a real thing.
I don't know which came first, shitty rave music or the drugs.
You have technicians here making noise. No one is a musician. They are not artists because nobody can play the guitar.
Instead of hearing music, you hear this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fake Music Only podcast, the best podcast online for discussing all things EDM. I'm your host, Cole, aka the Big Finicheti, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, IMG.
Hello, everyone.
And for today's guest, we have no one. Because
that's an oof.
Yeah, a bit of an oof. But it's the 10th episode, so we're doing something a little bit special, a little bit unorthodox. Instead of talking about the music that's kind of come out recently, we're sort of going over all of the albums, EPs, singles, etc. that have come out since we started this podcast that we wanted to talk about, but sometimes episodes get delayed or canceled, and the episode that where we talked about them doesn't come out. So we're kind of gathering all those tracks, and we're talking about them here. And I believe we're doing this in two parts.
We are indeed.
Yeah, and they should come out in quick succession, so that way the
Yeah,
episodes.
it'll probably be two episodes 2 weeks, I guess, is the best way to say it.
Yeah. So that way the episode's not crazy long, filled with filled with tons of music that's not relevant anymore. It's more just more frequent, shorter episodes. So yeah. So we've got a lot to jump into. Even though we're splitting it into three parts, we essentially, not technically, but we essentially have.
You literally just said three. Why?
I literally did just say three. This is falling
Half-Life
apart.
3 confirmed.
This is falling apart faster than I ever could have thought. But yeah, even though we're doing this in two parts and we're splitting up the music pretty evenly, we still technically have 4 LPs to talk about, basically. Well, technically 3 LPs,
and
then
2 that can be pretty much considered 2 EPs that can be considered an LP.
Yeah.
Together.
And then there's there's a ton of stuff after that as well. So
yeah.
So we've got a lot to go through here. So where to start? Let's see. I suppose since the sequel to this album is apparently coming out soon, and it's actually leaked online like last week. So in the sense of getting this out of the way before it becomes completely outdated, let's talk about Mouseville Level 1.
Yeah.
Which is a really weird compilation / EP / album / I don't even know.
Just weird.
Yeah, because Deadmau5 usually puts out like since album title goes here, it's been an album every 2 years, pretty much, and now 2 years after his last album, W Drive 2016 album, what a name. We're not getting like an album. We're getting a weird hybrid between a label compilation, a remix compilation, and just a regular EP. So to be honest, I don't even know what the fuck to call this thing, because it's got...
We'll call it LEP elation. I don't know.
Perfect. Fuck it.
Perfect.
Fuck it. Why not? It's got 2 original Deadmau5 tracks. A track from GTA of all people, a single off of Getter's Visceral album, and then a bunch of remixes and edits to one of the Deadmau5 tracks. So, where do I even start with this thing?
Yeah, where do we start? It's so different with every song, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Let's lead with kind of the main focus. People could basically just call this Monophobia, the release, because on iTunes, Spotify, etc. There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versions, and then on Beatport there's a 6th. So that makes up 6 of the 9 tracks on here.
Yeah, so
actually, yeah.
We'll just call it Monophobia featuring Getter and GTA.
and Nyquist.
And Nyquist.
Yeah. All right. All right, so to start off, like with the first track, I guess, like the version that leads it off is a vocal version, and it's only 3 minutes long. Well, 3 minutes 30 seconds. Um, for me, this isn't really the best way to listen to this track, if I'm totally honest with you. And when I say that, I don't just mean like the length. I mean the vocals as well. Because while in my opinion, like it's still great to hear Rob Swire work with Deadmau5 again after what, literally like 10 years or
Yeah,
more.
it's
I'm
been
not
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah, Ghost and Stuff came out around 2008, 2009, who knows. But
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, so I was super excited to hear that Rob was going to be on this. Also because Rob just doesn't sing on too many tracks anymore, and he's got one of the best voices in the
Yeah,
EDM
which is
scene.
quite a shame.
Yeah, but that being said, to be honest, my favorite version of this track is not of the like original, well, like not of the 3 minute version. It's not of the extended mix at the end of the iTunes charts. It's the one that's exclusive to Beatport, basically, which is the original mix, which is 10 minutes long and doesn't feature Rob's vocals at all. For me, that's my favorite version of this track. And I think that's because the intensity of Rob's vocals doesn't really blend well with the more, melodic, kind of
Yeah.
slow production that goes on in this track. And also, as with most Deadmau5 tracks, the extended version is much better because it gives the track a lot more time and a lot more space to progress and show some new ideas, where the 3 minute version just doesn't really give you that.
Yeah, it's just like a radio edit, you know?
Yeah, basically. I kind of wish it was labeled that way, but it's just not
Yeah.
for some reason. So I don't know. What about you? What are you thinking?
Um, Honestly, I mean, the remixes, you can't really, I don't know. Just, they're not really memorable. Rinzen's is okay, and that's like the only one I remember. But honestly, I'd say either of the 10-minute versions. I haven't heard the 10-minute instrumental one, but I've heard the 10-minute vocal one. And that one's okay. But, like, I like the song in general, I guess.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
you can go.
No. It's
All right.
it's fine.
All right. Well, like basically, this is another 10-minute Deadmau5 anthem. And this is kind of what fans ask for and what they look forward to. Comparable to like Strobe, the Velt, the previous one before this was Polaris, I think. I don't recall
Yeah.
another one after that. And I would say for a Deadmau5 track of this sort of caliber, I wouldn't really call it up there with those. Like, I don't know. I guess I would compare it to like the Velt. It has that kind of strength. With the vocals and all that. But when I compare it to, I forget the exact name. I think it's HR 8938 Cephi. When I compare it with
Yeah,
that,
I think that's right.
yeah, with that Strobe, even Polaris, I thought that track was really strong. When when I compare it with those, it really doesn't stand up, but it is still above average, I think. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not the anthem I think everyone wants, or at least it's not the type of anthem that I wanted. I'm glad that it's out, because back when it was on like the Wanza 7 channel, if anyone remembers that, like he just uploaded a bunch of Deadmau5 IDs from his live streams and stuff like that, and no one ever thought this was going to come out, but here it is. So I'm glad we have a high quality version. I'm glad he offered an instrumental version. That was also 10 minutes, but I don't know. It just it's good, but it's just not comparable to those top tier Deadmau5 tracks. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so you've got that. That take we're left with three totally unrelated tracks on this thing. So I don't know. I guess let's talk about the other Deadmau5 track on here, which is Nyquist. This track is full blown IDM.
Yeah.
Which is nice to hear. And I know for a fact that the piano chords here are the same as some on are the same as they are in one song on While One Is Less Than Two. I think it's Terrors in My Head, but I could be wrong. So it's basically those chords, which were kind of in the middle of one of those While One Is Less Than Two tracks, taken from the 7 EP, but made super glitchy and extended out for 3 minutes. And I like it, but it's nothing. It's interesting, but it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
on here, but that's about it.
I mean, if you know me, I'm kind of a big fan of like IDM, Aphex Twin, that kind of stuff. So this one definitely appealed to me. It's not my favorite, but you know what? It's good enough. Honestly, I like it a little bit more than Monophobia. Haters, don't hate on me, please.
Damn.
Don't do this. Don't do this to me.
That's
But
funny.
I I I re-listened to this today actually, and it was just like I was just like fetching out, and I was like, oh man,
I
I
mean,
haven't
like,
heard this in a while.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how angry fans are gonna be at that. This like all the melodies off the 7 EP are really fantastic, and I wish he would actually make more strictly piano stuff. Because I know he did Where's the Drop, and that was orchestral. But
Yeah,
but
I liked Where's the Drop a lot, honestly.
I don't know. For me, I find that when it's solely piano with maybe just a beat behind it or something, it works a lot better, and I think that's because that kind of makes you feel like the sad melodies of the song kind of make you feel more isolated as the melody is kind of emptied out.
Yeah.
Not the melody is empty, as the track is emptier. Because when it's just the piano, it kind of hits you a bit harder than all the string instruments and horns coming in with it. But
Mhm.
I thought Where's the Drop was okay, but I haven't really re-listened to it that often. So I don't know. It's all right. But anyway, so I don't know. Nyquist and Monophobia are kind of in the same ballpark, at least. Like kind of classic Dead Mouse style tracks that you'd expect from him. But I don't exactly know where the logic was when they put All Is Lost by Getter and Something Like by GTA on here.
Oh boy.
I, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Something Like by GTA is one of the weirdest songs.
I love this song just because of how weird it
I don't love it. I just kind of
is.
I don't know what to think about it. It's it's sort of in the same ballpark as Dolphins on Wheels, where it's just
Yeah.
but I don't think it's a joke track. A lot of the it sounds like they just recorded them talking in the studio, like them saying, "All right, now put this here, put it on that track, etc., etc." And then they just pitched it down and put it in time and threw it in here. The drop is just a beat and Uganda Knuckles throat clicking and stuff like that. Hate to be making that reference, but that's really what it's
Yeah,
comparable
please
to.
don't.
But it really is what it's comparable to.
You're a monster. If you reincarnate that meme, I swear on my life, I will find you
I don't
and
think. Oh
I'll
God.
drown you. Watch me.
Whew, Jesus fucking Christ! All right, well. All right, well, that's my cue to stop talking about Something Like. It's an anomaly. I don't know what to think about it. I guess I'm glad it exists, but it's kind of just baffling me at the same time. So there we go. That's all I got.
Yeah, I pretty much I like it, and it's really weird, and that's why I like it. That's about it.
Alrighty then. And then finally, All Is Lost, which is totally, I just like Something Like, it's totally different sounding. It goes for a different mood, a different vibe than everything else here. It's more like emotional melodic dubstep, featuring Nowhere Nothing. And I mean, I like this track a lot. I like the kind of weird mastering he put on it, where everything sounds a little bit fuzzy, just like the rest of the Visceral album. I have no idea what it's doing here. I didn't even assume it was a single off the Visceral album when I first saw it, because I assumed that it made no sense for it to be on there. But
Yeah.
but here it is. So yeah, good track. I I we talked about Visceral more in depth in a previous episode, so I'm not gonna say retread too much ground here. But yeah, I liked it. It's good.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, with Mouseville Level 1, this may be the most uncohesive piece of work that I've ever seen. I have no idea what the fuck the thought process was behind the track list here, but but by the same token, I don't really dislike anything. I mean, like the remixes besides Rinzin, I like Rinzin's a lot, mostly because it doesn't include the vocals. It's more simple. It's just kind of an edit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the remixes weren't that memorable, and there's only one version of Monophobia that I really listened to over and over again, so that kind of makes the other two irrelevant. But nothing's bad, so I'm gonna give this a what out of 10?
Okay, I'll give it a scud out of 10.
Scud. The fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
Wait, you've never heard of that?
No, that was no
Oh my
context for me. That was no context.
Okay,
Scud.
alright. So, back when Monster Cat 14 came out, this one guy posted on the subreddit. He was like, Monster Cat 14 review. And it was a one-word post. S''good. And then it just kind of became a meme.
Oh,
So,
oh,
so yeah.
like it's good, and that was a Monster Cat 14, 014.
Yeah, so...
What was on that? There was a. I'm trying to think. My friend was on that, right? That's one that I.
No, that's 20.
God damn it.
Blossom, I think, is on it.
Oh yeah, wait.
I think.
I gotta get what Top of the World 2? Is that on
No,
there?
that's still 20.
I think I'm mixing up. Wait. Is Fort? So which one's the one with the hang glider? Which one?
The hang glider is 20.
That's 20. So that explains a whole lot. What was on the cover of 14?
It was him on a cliff. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because I swear on my life, if I'm getting this wrong, I'm going to be very mad at myself.
I think it is 20. I think you're right. But yeah.
No, I mean, is Blossom on it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like,
Okay.
I didn't get into Monster yet from last year, so I'm still kind of catching up on that.
That's true. And yes, Blossom did come out on that. So.
Oh, that was the Virtual Riot All for One, One for All thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides that, I don't really remember. Oh, Old School. Well, I listen to Old School by Televisor a lot. That too. Yeah, that's about it. Sorry. It gets it'll
We're gonna
get.
slander your ass on the subreddit.
I never claim to be a this is never supposed to be a Monster Cat podcast, you know. It's
I
just,
don't care. I'm still slandering you on the sub.
I'm a disciple guy, you know. Anyway, but it would get even worse if we started talking about like the later compilations, because I straight just download the singles again because I'd rather have the artwork than just the Monster Cat compilation. So pretty much once it stopped being like the Monster Cat like kind of template thing, where it was just
Yeah.
the like once they stopped doing that for the singles, I just kind of stopped downloading them off of the album compilations.
Yeah.
So it's really just like the Uncaged collabs and a couple various ones that I have for the later ones, but yeah. So
Yeah.
so don't quiz me on those ever.
Okay.
Because I will fail.
Speaking of Disciple, why don't we talk about Disciple Alliance Volume 4?
Hey, that's a great idea. Let's do that. It's so
Yeah.
convenient. I have the track list right here, so I can talk about it.
Woo!
So this came out during the summer. I think mid-July. And when I heard about this for the first time, I was extremely excited because Disciple's been one of my favorite labels since I really got back into EDM. They've been pretty consistently strong, whereas Never Say Die kind of goes through rough and good patches. They've been on a good streak recently, though, in my opinion. But anyway, and not to mention, Disciple Alliance Volume 3 is one of my favorite label compilations because it's short. It's only 5 tracks long, but every track on there, except maybe the Dubloads one, Power Crystal, which is just okay, is pretty great. Everything besides that is pretty great. You got like Rocket by Fox Stevenson, Jungle Demon by Barely Alive is one of their stronger tracks from that kind of from that 2016 period. So to hear them finally come back with a giant 16-track monster of a compilation. I was excited, really excited, and then I listened to it and like it was kind of fine.
Just fine.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously there's some massive standouts like Get Lemon, which is like I think 17 artists if I'm not getting that wrong.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's like it's actually cohesive, and you can kind of tell where some artists put in work. Cough, cough, Fox Stevenson.
Yeah.
But the whole track works. Like it doesn't feel like a clusterfuck. It's kind of like Avengers
Like my
Infinity.
mashups.
It's I mean, actually I'm not going to compare it to Infinity War because that's fucking stupid, but I mean like it like nothing really clashes. I never, besides sort of Fox Stevenson, I never feel like anything's out of place, but even then his part, like I don't mind it there at all. And overall, like even though the track isn't like, you know, it's not like 17 times better than a regular Disciple artist's track, but it's definitely good. And I'm hoping we can see more from different labels because I know Disciple did this here. Didn't Bitbird do something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't as big,
Yeah.
but it was like 7 or 8, I think.
7 or 8 is still pretty huge, so I would love to see more kind of giant label compilations like that. So anyway, so Get Lemon was kind of phenomenal to see come together, and you wind up with like a 7 out of 10 track, maybe a bit higher. And then in terms of other standouts, it starts out really strong. By My Side with a like Mode Step, Barely Alive, and Virtual Riot all together. That was pretty great. Slaughter Them All was ridiculously heavy. 12th Planet and Phase 1. Let's see, what else? Go by Hatcha was really fun for a deep dub track. But besides that, a lot of the tracks just kind of felt standard for the artists making them. Like Dogfight by Virtual Riot, it's not bad, but it's kind of your standard VR modern day rhythm track. Bang Your Head by Barely Alive is kind of underwhelming. Eliminate's done better than Disco, although I mean like I kind of like it. But yeah, like a lot of these tracks are just kind of standard. But there are definitely some standouts here. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think, IMG?
Well, I'm not big into the whole Brittum rhythm thing, especially when it's somewhat generic, So like, Get Lemon was good. Everything else was kind of not super good in my opinion. That's pretty much my thoughts.
Everything. Have you heard like the last 3 tracks on the album? Because they're definitely the most unique.
Not recently, because I was lazy and I didn't have time to listen to this.
Wow, what a pro. It's all right. But yeah, I agree that a lot of the album is kind of that rhythm Brittum type stuff, but it does shake it up a bit. Like Disco is more trappy, more like hybrid trap. Peace of Mind by Fox Stevenson is different. Well, not different for Fox Stevenson, but different for the album. And then the last 3, Go, Monday's Merkin, and Keep on Rockin'. I don't think the last 2 are really as good. I think they're both interesting. Keep on Rockin' is definitely a weird track, especially for Myra, who doesn't even really put that much out anymore. But Monday's Merkin kind of felt tame after Go. But yeah, I'm glad that they kind of clustered the weirder tracks to kind of close the album out. It kind of gave it some cohesiveness. I don't know. So yeah, I mean like overall. So I guess in conclusion, if you want to listen to this thing, listen to like the first 6 tracks and then listen to the last 3, and then the middle is just very, very bland. There's not really a lot that stands out there. Maybe the others track, The Unknown, that was good. So yeah, this is like a 6 from me. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, it's like a 3. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh God, I inhaled real bad.
Instant karma. You just choke once you guess this thing.
Look at me, guys. I'm dying.
He gave a bad review to Disciple, and now look at him. His life's a mess.
Just don't fuck with Disciple.
So yeah, so I guess the lesson here is if you're into rhythm, if you're into Disciple, if you're into what they're doing, then you've probably heard this already. But if you haven't, then you should check it out. But if not, not everything's gonna be for you. Maybe check out the standouts that we mentioned, but it might just not be your thing. So that was that.
With that,
We're getting there.
we're getting there.
We've still got two massive projects to talk about. Two remix projects actually. So what do you what are you thinking? Pick one up.
The drop. We're going the drop.
We're going straight to the drop. Okay, back to
We
familiar.
are.
Back to familiar territory. We finally got some remixes off Monster Cat. So, for some ungodly reason, the drop by Gammer is insanely popular and now has 9, wait, 11,
Yeah,
11,
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
11 separate remixes. And I've got extremely mixed feelings on Gammer just as a producer. Like some of the stuff that he puts out, I really unironically enjoy. Like Forever, which he did with Keizo earlier this year, I thought that was great. I think a lot of his happy hardcore I enjoy a lot, but then again, I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff. But then he puts out stuff like Let's Get Crunk, and Needed You, and Stay Tonight, and all this shit.
I'm laughing because I'm gonna. All right. If Gamer watches this, I'm sorry that he doesn't like you.
And no, it's not that I don't like. It's like Gammer. Like I don't hate any artist as a person. Like I mean, like unless I've talked to them, which I probably haven't. Every artist that I've talked to, I've enjoyed talking to quite a bit. But unless I've talked to you, I can't really judge you as a person.
That's true.
Like not really. Like I've heard some stuff about Trampa. And I'm gonna judge Datsik pretty hard. As the rest of the EDM community seems to. But in terms of not widely spread stuff, like Gammer seems like a nice guy from the interviews that I've seen with him.
Yeah.
And a lot of Gammer's tracks I do enjoy. It's just that the drop really isn't one of them. And I seem to be kind of alone in this opinion, so maybe I'm just objectively wrong here, but I don't know. Like for me, the melody in the beginning isn't really anything too special. I like how it kind of sounds like The Legend of Zelda, and then the box art is kind of like an NES black box cover, so that's that's interesting. But
Yeah.
as for the drop in the drop, like the pitter patter high pitched noise things, it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. Like I can see this doing well at festivals, like getting blasted as speakers with the bass pushed up to like fucking 14. But in terms of just listening, I really don't see how this track stands above other modern dubstep tracks. So I don't know. So the original drop, it's grown on me slightly, but I still really don't. I'm still not a really big fan. So when I heard that this thing was getting 11 remixes, I wasn't I wasn't thrilled. I was pretty happy because I figured that these remixes were from different artists, bringing a lot of new stuff to the table. Some were bound to be much better than the original, or at least some were bound to appeal to my tastes more than the original, and then maybe those ones would be played out at festivals more than the original. But so yeah, that's kind of how I went into this thing. What about you? What do you think about Gammer and just all this stuff?
I mean, honestly, I feel kind of the opposite. His happy hardcore is kind of it all depends really, but like his heavy stuff is just insert okay hand emoji here. I mean I like the drop for its it's really chaotic, and that's kind of why I like it. Just like it's just like you can play it anywhere, and so I bet you 9 times out of 10 there's someone in the corner headbanging or something. I don't know. So someone's gonna headbang.
That's a fair point. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, definitely.
Yeah, like it's just you say that it sounds very chaotic, but for me it's just kind of the same noise and the same rhythm a bunch. But I don't know. I see what you mean. It goes hard. People
Yeah.
enjoy it. I'm not mocking you for enjoying it. I wish I could enjoy it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and to clarify, Gamer, I like some of your music, quite a bit of it. Your remix of Language, his remix of Language, I'm a big fan of too.
Yes.
That's one I forgot. And also Over the Edge, a lot of people hate that one.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe why there's so much hate. It's like,
I think it's fine.
yeah.
I mean, it's catchy. The vocal chops aren't really annoying at all for me. I guess I can see why you wouldn't like it because it's more commercial house and stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he released that on Monster Cat, then he went to Ultra Music to release Forever, which is like a UK hardcore track, which is way better.
Yeah.
League's better. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
with all that said, let's talk about 9 artists that aren't Gamer.
11.
Yeah, oh god.
You said 9 again.
Oh yeah, 11. Well, and then one's a collab. So 12. So anyway, let's talk about part 1
Wait,
first,
which
I
one's
guess.
the collab then?
The first for the
Oh
first
yeah,
reference.
4B Never Left. Okay,
Yep, 4B and Never Left. To be honest, I get this one and the Jensen Jaws one confused a lot because they kind of go for the same thing, and people seem
At
to
least
hate
the
both of
first
them.
drop, anyway.
Yeah, and people seem to hate both of them. But
I don't understand it. I mean,
But-
honestly, I do not hate. Actually, there are a couple remixes I hate, and I'm going to say it again. Francis Durrell ripped off Dubload's remixes. Fight me in the comments. I
Whoa.
don't care.
I'll fight you here. Francis Durrell's remix is like my favorite one on both the packages, I think.
I swear on my life, they sound almost exactly similar.
They don't.
They do so. They follow like the same like melody and drop structure. I swear.
I mean, like,
Either I'm hallucinating. Actually, it wouldn't be hallucinating because that would mean that you see something. I don't know. I don't know what the word for audio hallucination is.
I think it's just auditory hallucination.
All right. I'm either auditory hallucinating, or they are more similar than you think.
Okay, for me, like, sure, they're similar. Like, they're both heavy remixes. Like, they're dubstep reworks. But I mean, like for me, comparing the Francis Durrell one to the Dubloads one is like comparing the Stonebank one to the Dyro one. You know, like, sure, they're both house reworks, but they're super different at the same time. Because like for this, Dubloads kind of puts his own his own classic, more like kind of squishy sound design spin on it. And he kind of sacrifices a lot of the heaviness that the Francis Durrell remix kind of picks up to put his signature sound in the track. And then the Francis Durrell remix is more just mindlessly heavy, ridiculously loud sounds. And
I guess to each his own. But...
I guess, I don't know. The Francis Durrell one is it's ridiculously heavy. It's way heavier than the Dubloads one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of wind up listening to it more, not because I value heaviness in my in my music above everything else, but because if I'm gonna listen to a song called The Drop, I wouldn't mind it just being a mindless heavy banger.
Yeah.
So it wound up being my favorite, but I do like the Dubloads remix too because, you know, he's kind of experimenting more with house, and he did that deep dub thing with Salt and Pepper earlier in the year, so it's nice when I get to see some kind of classic sounding stuff from him. But yeah, so there's those out the way. I guess the only remix on both of these packages that I don't really like is Skellism a ton.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't think I dislike it as much as most people, but like the main drop sound is not really all that interesting or heavy or anything. I don't really know what it was going for. And then the second drop of that song is really it's really messy. It feels like it's on the verge of going out of time in some like kind of the stuttery parts. And that makes it hard for me to enjoy it. Not that it's like terrible. It's just kind of like a 4 out of 10. You know, just sort of barely negative.
Yeah.
But with most of these things, it's more just kind of indifference. I like I like the Dubloads remix. I like the Francis Durrell one. I like the Darren Styles remix and the Stonebank one. So like those are like the 4 big standouts that I listen to a ton, and the rest are just sort of like they're fine.
Yeah, the Darren Styles one, I heard that originally with his EDC set, and I swear I was so fucking hyped for that, and it's still on repeat to this day, I hear.
Damn. Okay. So you just heard that dropped out of the blue.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Wait, what? I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
and it's barely comparable to his other stuff on Monster Cat because
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure everything else he's done has been happy hardcore
Yeah.
on
it
Monster
has
Cat.
been.
Yeah, and then he pulled a Gamma remix here. So yeah, in terms of the one that we're not really mentioning, the Wooly remix was fine, but it was just sort of fine. I like the fake out drop. The Slippy remix did some cool stuff, but it wasn't really all that memorable to me. The Jester one was also just kind of not memorable, just kind of basic trap. I don't think we're forgetting anything because I kind of mentioned the Dyro and Jensen John's remix as well. If you wanna say anything else, you can go ahead. But I'm kind of out of things to talk about with these ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right,
So,
drop remix is done.
yeah,
There we go.
you can go to sleep tonight.
July. These came out in early July, or at least part 1 did. Finally got around to it, I guess. So we've got one more album to go. So we're not going to talk about that one yet. We're going to buffer it and talk about the singles.
Wow, you really had to do this.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
It do be like that sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes. See, now they got to stick around to see what the album is. They're curious, or they could just skip ahead.
Yeah, 'cause they're lazy.
Yeah. They're too lazy to listen to a podcast. What's wrong with you, man? Subscribe, like, and comment. Anyway, so
Self promo hour for the episode's done.
what do you? Yeah. Halfway through, imagine if someone skips to the middle of the episode and then they land right on that. So it's just.
There you go.
It's like wow,
Message from us.
just like wow, you're too lazy to listen to a podcast. And they gotta go back to. They'd have to go back to the beginning after that. They'd have to.
Totally. They'd feel so guilty.
Mm-hmm. You
So
better.
guilty they'd probably comment fucking gay and leave. No, I'm kidding.
Did you say comment gay?
Yeah, they'd just comment fucking gay.
You don't commit it. You comment. You comment.
No, I said comment.
Yeah. Oh, comment.
Yeah, I said comment. Like, as in, like, go down to the comment section and comment fucking gay.
I
And then
heard-
leave.
I heard comet as
What the hell?
synonym meteor. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
I was a little confused. Speaking of being confused, we already talked about the album that this single is on, but here's Gold, Stupid Love.
Woo!
I don't know if you know what your mic just did, but it buffered that at like 4 different parts. Yeah, it was anyway. All jokes aside, this is one of my favorite melodic dubstep tracks, just kind of period. Because with a lot of melodic dubstep, I feel like the tracks don't really have a whole lot of identity because you've got these really nice melodies, you've got this, and then you've got these like super heavy noises in the drop, and it just kind of leaves me confused on how to even feel with these things. There's a few that pull it off, but not many. I mean for me at least, most of them are well produced anyway. But they're just not for me. This track though, it does what I think most of the melodic dubstep tracks should do, and it starts out going, kind of committing fully to this I mean, like I guess still bass heavy. You know, like you've got the drums and you got the sub bass and everything, and the intensity of like when the vocalist, I'm sorry for forgetting her name.
Shallows.
Shout. Yep, that's it. Sing like when she sings her vocals, it actually feels kind of emotional along with the production, that goes along with it. And I actually like the first drop because it fully commits to being melodic and, you know, kind of getting at your emotions. And then when the second drop comes in and it's actually heavy and it's Excision going totally fucking ham with his, you know, like saw type basses and stuff, it knocks you on your ass and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly think this is one of the stronger cuts off of Apex, which is interesting because I don't particularly like Excision and Illenium by themselves too much. I think Excision's great when he's got others to work off of, like a lot of his Space Laces collaborations, a lot of his Dion, I forget, Dion. It's Dion Timmer collaborations. I think a lot of them are pretty great. But in terms of solo tracks, I don't think he's too strong. So, but when you take two of these artists that I typically find more mediocre, and you tell them to combine their styles, miraculously it winds up being one of the best tracks on Apex. So yeah, good work, Gold. Stupid
Yeah.
love. All right.
Honestly, I like this track a lot, and I re-listened to Apex after we, like, just actually like a couple weeks ago. This and Wake Up with Sullivan King are like my two tops on that. Maybe the Vault to round out top three, but
Those are good picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, honestly, it's so off kilter to just kind of go like just you're all melodic, you know, and it just brutal, you know. But I love it and it's great. So I guess that's my basic thoughts, and the vocals are good. So
Hell yeah, perfect.
enough said.
I've, I've actually been scripting out a full review of Apex to try and do that. So I've been listening, you know, re-listening that a lot recently as well. It's basically my way of being productive while also not paying attention in class. Just writing that script. So yeah, look out for that maybe at some point in the future. But knowing me, it'll never come out. So don't get your
Hey
hopes
guys,
up.
when Cole drops out of college, you can thank that.
Yeah, yeah, but but that review's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. If you release that and you end up dropping out of college, just title it "I dropped out of college, so here's my Apex review."
Putting all my eggs in this one extremely forgettable 3-month late basket. Please watch it. So we got that out the way. Even though we already talked about it. Let's go through both of the Monster Cat singles we have on here. Start with Exodus, I guess. I like Delta Heavy. I don't really like this song too much. It's not that it's bad. I feel like it just barely misses the mark, though. Like there was sort of this one noise, or one noise that I expected the drop to kind of focus on heavily. But it just sort of didn't, and it focused on this more kind of, you know, plucky-ish one. I mean, wow, stuttering. I mean, like, it's not a pluck, but it's a much shorter sound than the one I was envisioning. It doesn't really fill the space all that well. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't really have a whole lot of feelings on this one. It's just fine.
Yeah. I wish I had the reverb so I could say pluck and just be all echoey and
Pluck.
we're working on fixing it, guys. Reverb episode 11. Watch.
Getting a reverb machine. Just open it up with pluck.
Yeah.
So, and then we have Comeback, which you know, everyone's still talking about that. This episode's not strangely placed time wise, but yeah. I to be honest, I didn't really like the Falcon Funk EP thing that came out a long time ago. I did go back and kind of skim through it. But I like this track a lot. And that might be because I like Boss Fight a lot. I don't know how much input he had on the track. I don't know what the what the division of work here was, but either way, this turned out to be a really fun glitch hop track. Yeah, that's really it. It's just a really fun glitch hop track. I'm glad to see Falcon Funk back. There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, I kind of liked their more. I guess you could call it melodic style, because like there's kind of like the melodic side of glitch hop, and then there's the more heavier side, and it's kind of like on the melodic side, I guess.
Yeah,
I kind of like it, but this is more kind of on the harder side. Not quite, but it's kind of like, I guess, a good middle ground, sort
Yeah.
of. So and I like what Boss Fight did to it, whatever he did to it, but I still like it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty good track.
Yeah. So, okay and pretty good on the MCAT singles. Now, going through a few more real quick. Eeny meeny miny mo, shake the ground. Why not?
Oh boy.
I was so excited for this track because it's Sullivan King, Snails, Kill the Noise, and Jonah Key. I think Jonah K. K. One fucking letter off, but yeah, I don't really know Jonah Key. I forget already. How did this happen? I hadn't heard of him before, but the other three, I figured that a collaboration would be fantastic. And Sullivan King did a great job with the vocals. Like the intro is really fantastic, but the drop is kind of bland and disappointing, and I'm
I like
sad.
the kind of like twerk trap almost kind of thing. Like the second drop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like when they kind of, I don't know, they don't slow down the melody, but it's like,
it's definitely slower because I had to make a mix with this and it was offbeat in that second drop. So yeah,
okay.
they definitely made it slower.
So I guess that's interesting. So there's a tempo change, even though it's pretty subtle. But yeah, I mean, it's like, honestly, this track is kind of just, it's going to be great for festivals. In terms of just regular listening, Kill the Noise has done a lot better, even just recently.
Yeah.
Like he did a collaboration with Millennium as well, and also one with Mako, right? Mako.
Yeah.
Those were both
I
really
thought it
good.
was Make a lot, honestly.
You're probably right, knowing me. That and also part one from over a year ago at this point, over probably a year and a half ago. Damn. But that was good too. But this just isn't really anything special, sadly. So hopefully we get more. Hopefully we get more from Kill the Noise in the future, because his output really has slowed down a lot recently, and he's one of my favorite artists from that were crazy popular in that era of electronic music.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want give me another Kill the Noise album sometime.
Yeah, I seriously, I like the cult classic a lot. When I listened to it for the first time, I still like it a lot. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite albums.
Damn.
Maybe. So
I've got
yeah,
this. I've got the CD for a cult classic.
Please, I will pay you money to send that to me. I want it now.
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Oh wait, actually, okay.
That's where I got it
I'm
from.
gonna actually buy it right now. Watch, guys.
Live on the cast. Here we go.
We're gonna do it. Hold on.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Kill 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 EP. The Black Magic EP is fine. There's some great stuff on it, but then there's also some substandard stuff too. All the a lot of the collaborations he did with Skrillex are some of his best work. Like Narcissistic Cannibal is fucking fantastic. What else? Recess. Recess is one of those universal tracks that everyone seems to enjoy. There's just a lot of great stuff that's come out of Kill the Noise. I'm hoping he can pick that output back up again after it being somewhat slowed down over these past few years.
Yeah.
I do still need to hear the Roots EP though. It's not on Apple Music, and that's just kind of deterring me from listening to it. But yeah. So I guess that's one thing. But yeah, so there's Shake the Ground. Oh yeah, Snails. Has not been there hasn't been a song that I've really enjoyed from Snails in a good while. I'll I'll just leave it at that. Actually, no. Break It Down. Oh no, I can't get into this rant again. Break It Down was so much better before it was released. When it was squishy rhythm, and then the drops got separated, and then Sam King's vocals came in.
Yeah.
And then it was 2.5 minutes, and it kind of sucks. And I still listen to the ID version that I've had downloaded since like 2016. Anyway, off that topic, before I ruin our reputation even more.
Like you haven't already.
Hey, man, we've got Blood Moon, Ausla. It's Ausla.
Hausla, I don't care.
Hausla, yeah, that's right, Hausla.
That's a pretty good compilation. Total side note.
Honestly, yeah. Lasers by Noizu. I still have that on repeat quite a lot.
New Breed is something else.
New. A lot of people don't like New Breed. I think it's pretty great though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blood Moon. Mega collab by Akal. Oh shit, I forget how to pronounce it.
Oh my god.
You say it.
Ekali, I don't know.
Ekali?
I don't know. That's my best guess.
Cauliflower. Anyway.
Cauliflower.
Anyway, Ekali or Ekali. I don't. That's how I say it in my head. Ekali, Tainan, and then Heckler. For the fucking Christ, they collabed on this thing, and they fit 3 hybrid trap drops in like 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think this track is absolutely bonkers, fucking mental. And I'm really glad that it exists, because I really wouldn't have predicted this collaborate. Like Tainan and Heckler, sure, I think they have previously actually. But them coming together with Ekali, I'm just gonna say them all every time. I wouldn't expect it, and I couldn't be happier with the result. So, yeah, good job, you guys. This was fucking insane. Make more.
Yeah, kudos. It was a really good track.
Hell yeah. Now, and also side note, one thing I do remember, we were talking about this one in the test episode that never came out, and I was talking about how there's no releases on Auslan anymore. And then Akali put his EP out, so that kind of helped fill the void. And now we've got Joyride with his album coming out after that. And then Josh Pan has something in the works, and Skrillex did produce something for Elohim. Elohim, and that was out on Ausla too. So
Ausla 2.0, everyone.
Finally, it's a little bit busier.
Yeah.
Because it's just been like 3 months without a release, and then a single from Akali, and then another 3 months. So yeah, sigh of relief. Ausla's not dead yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so last single, we've got another pop song from Zed, Happy Now, but I actually like this one. To be honest, I don't mind a whole lot of. I didn't mind The Middle by Zed when it first came out, but then I heard it like 16 billion times, and now it just gives me a migraine every time. And then Get Low is absolutely nothing special. So overall, Zed's pop songs don't really have the longevity and pure quality of his old tracks, and I don't mean that in like a artists can't change type of way, and like his old stuff is strictly better, because I don't think that. I think the stuff that he was doing on like on True Colors, which is different from Clarity, very different.
Yeah.
I think for the most part that stuff was great, but it's just, I don't know.
Bumblebee is the underrated track.
Bumblebee's Bumblebee's not bad at all. I would expect better from Botnek, but it's not. It for a big room house track, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with the pop stuff, I've just been continually less and less impressed. And I'd like to see him release something reminiscent of his old stuff, and not even super old, just like 2015 and 2016 stuff, just a couple years back. But with this, I don't mind it at all. I think the vocals aren't annoying. Like the middles, and maybe that's because I've only heard it when I've chosen to listen to it. The production's pretty simple, but it's catchy and it works. And overall, you know, this isn't high art or anything, but I think it's good. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this story again. When I actually first started my job, my very first job in June, and you know, it's that food service cash, you know, middle-aged. May I talk to your manager, people, folk? No, I'm kidding. I've only had someone ask for my manager maybe 3 or 4 times out of the probably couple thousand orders I've, you know, given out. But anyway, um, so we had pop on all the time, and I swear to God, that song drove me nuts. And and then I moved to a new store, and thankfully, we don't play pop there, so I'm okay. And I don't know if they even still play it on the radio, honestly, but if they do, I'm glad I don't have to listen to it.
You got out. You've escaped.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
congrats.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't like Happy Now. It's just empty, and I don't really like it all that much. So
That's fine.
yeah, that's my thoughts pretty much.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like there's a ton to really observe here, or like a ton
Yeah.
to like be in awe at. Like I kind of just went in hoping it wouldn't annoy me and that it would be catchy, and it is. And it's stuck in my head right now. Now that we're thinking about it so much, and I don't mind it yet. So for the
Yeah.
time being, Happy Now is okay. Maybe not like a month or so, but for now, I do enjoy it. So
Yeah.
bam, there are the singles. We
All
could
right.
we could go into the album.
But let's not and save it for last.
Exactly. Let's talk about the EPs first. So to be honest, I have
Let's
no
talk
opinion.
about Cloud None because
Cloud9? Okay.
you know what? Why not?
All right. So this is Cloud9, his debut EP on Monster Cat. To be honest, I've never really heard of this guy beforehand.
He was very very small, so like he literally put on his Twitter about a month out from None Trick Pony's release that he was releasing something on Monster Cat, and no one knew about it until it finally came out.
Wow.
So yeah,
Small fry. But yeah, so with this EP, I didn't realize he had such a small following beforehand. I don't know how much music he's put out previously. I haven't really explored his back catalog yet.
same.
But with this EP, I've kind of got weird feelings on it because I recognize that there's a lot of effort put into this production. The drum patterns are strange. She definitely tried to put a lot of emotion in the piano chords, kind of mixed in with the synths that were placed in there. I definitely feel the passion in this EP, in this project. That being said, nothing really hit me too hard. I didn't really feel a whole lot when I listened to this thing, and it was just kind of. I don't want to say it was just noise because it wasn't. There were ideas present. It's just it wasn't really anything that really kept my attention too hard here. And while I do like the tracks None Trick Pony and the last one here, Spring Snow,
Yeah.
I don't really remember the way they necessarily sound. I just know that I like them when I listen to them. I do remember None Trick Pony a bit because I like the vocal chops in that. I thought that they were well done, which isn't too common for me because more than often the vocal chops get annoying for me, but they were done well there. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Cloud9 progress and realize what he like he's sort of perfected his formula.
Yeah.
And I know that he can make a well-produced track. Now I kind of want to see him, sort of do something a little bit more conceptual, have more of an idea behind the track because because maybe that was there, but I just didn't really see it. So not a bad body of work, just sort of bland, with the exception of a couple tracks. So yeah, that's kind of what I think.
All right. So quick question: the vocal chops in Spring Snow. What do you think they're saying?
I don't really remember what the
Go
vocal
listen
does.
to it then.
Listen
We'll
to it
do
right now.
We'll do it live.
I can't do that because OBS is recording my desktop audio, and then the music will be playing, and we'll get like copyright claimed or something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And also, it would just be over us talking, so we can't do that. But I'll do it later.
Okay.
What?
It's,
But what do
I
you
think it's
Christian?
Canada.
You
It
think
sounds
it's...
like Canada.
Write down in the comments what you think the vocal chops in Spring Snow sound like.
And we'll discuss it next episode.
That's right. That's right. And that's one less thing I have to write down for us to talk about. So yeah, do that. For the love of God.
Please.
Even though I don't really remember how Spring Snow sounds, I remember liking it enough for me to kind of bookmark it, and be like, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not just BSing. So that and Trick Pony, I'd kind of recommend that. I wouldn't recommend hearing the full EP because it's kind of more of the same. But yeah, it's definitely not bad, and I see a lot of potential in this guy. He's just gotta realize it and form it. So yeah, good job, Cloud None. Even though I don't know, I'm not calling it bad. I'm just calling it not quite there. I don't know. I'm not gonna give it a number score because, to be honest, I don't exactly know what I'm giving it.
A Cloud None out of 10. No, I'm kidding. It'd be really bad, actually. It'd be like a 0 out of 10, because Cloud None.
I'm gonna give it a classified as garage on iTunes out of 10. The next EPs we have are old,
which I'm pretty much not going to talk about because I haven't really listened to them again, and I don't want to be wrong about my opinion.
All right, no worries. Okay, the first one that I just want to talk about real quick is "The Heartbeat of Hell" by Figure. This feels like it should have been released around Halloween because I feel like he was going for a spooky thing, more of a spooky kind of monster vibe because that's what Figure does. He's got that series, that album series. I forget the exact name. But none of the tracks here are really memorable, except for the titular track, "Heartbeat of Hell," which is it's got these kind of piano chords in the beginning that sort of set you on edge, and these noises that are a little eerie, and then the actual drops are really good. The first and last one are sort of more standardish Figure stuff, but the second drop in particular is actually really good. It's one of my favorite drops on the Black Label, just period. So yeah, there's not too much I have to say about this one. I wouldn't recommend the EP really, unless you're a huge Black Label junkie. Then you'll probably like what you hear, because it is well made heavy music. It's just not too memorable. But "Heartbeat of Hell" is a pretty fantastic track. So I'm glad the EP exists just for that. And then after that, the other Never Say Die EP that we've got on here is Rapture. No, New Rain by Company. That's Rapture's just the name of the first track on it. And this EP is weird because, in my opinion, it hits you with the best tracks first. The first two tracks are the best ones, and then the other two are a little less memorable. The other two are Stomp and Buck, and Buck is kind of fun because it's sort of set up compositionally for you to be able to headbang to it really easily. So that's cool and all, but in terms of actual listening, it's there's nothing too special in there. And Stomp, I genuinely don't really remember too much about. But Rapture and Override are both really good. Override in particular is just is this kind of wobbly, distorted type of hybrid trap. And I'm a huge fan of artists like Ricky San, Eliminate, Hydraulics. So hearing this come out of Company was really interesting, and I thought the kind of wonkiness of it made for a fun listen. I still haven't got the chance to play this out of good speakers because I'm at college and there's not a whole lot of places I can play loud music. But we don't want you getting in trouble here. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
accelerate. You're getting kicked out. Or
Getting kicked out of
dropping
college. But yeah. So Override's a good hybrid trap song, and then Rapture, easily the best track on here. It kind of reminds me of I don't know, like it gives me like the production style, the noises used reminds me of Bad Clat a lot, especially in that recent A side B side that he did, Campers and No Joke. It reminds me of Campers a lot. And then it kind of has the vibe and like the personality of a Space Laces track. So I'm a big fan of this one. The drop is actually really fun. Super spacious. And when I say that, I mean the main sound in the drop is given a lot of space to kind of echo around, and you can hear the full thing and the shape of it. And it's and when I say it has the personality of a Space Laces track, I mean like it's got this vocal, sample right before the drop, and I think what it's saying is grinders on the block. And it's kind of done in like the same way Space Laces would do it, which is nice for me to hear. So yeah, I would recommend just listening to the first 2 tracks on this thing, and then just kind of skipping the rest. But if you're a DJ and you play like, you know, if you and you actually play bass music at your gigs, put on Buck, because that's gonna be fantastic for the people on the rail. So yeah, bam, Never Say Die, rapid reviews, got him in. Months late.
Hosted by the big Finicheti
himself. That's right. And now, finally,
the moment you've all been waiting for.
We're gonna talk about a remix EP that came out in June.
It's more of an LP.
Oh yeah. That's. It's not more of an LP. It's just straight an LP. I was wrong on that one.
Yeah. Here. Let's see if you guys can hear my drum. Hopefully, hold on.
So
I don't know.
I don't know what the point is.
I don't know. I'm just doing random sounds at this point, guys.
What was the point of that?
I'm just evolved to do a cesspool. Just I don't fucking know.
A cesspool of I don't fucking know. Oh my god, that's.
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's a big mood. All right. But yeah, we've got our first album from Pendulum since 2011. And it is none of their, and they're not really on it at all. It's just this is a straight remix package. It's not like a remix EP where, you know, you've got like, or like your typical modern day bass music remix LP where the artist does one track in correlation with another, or something like with Alt Classic. Kill the Noise did 2 tracks, one with Feed Me and one with Virtual Riot on there. Stuff like that. No, this is purely a remix package of a lot of their old hits. And I see a lot of kind of mixed feelings on this one. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that pre-release, like, it was not really marketed all that well, because it was announced literally in January to come out in June. There was half a year build up to this thing's release, which
and there was like, I forget how many remixes were released before it. I think the Noisia remix.
There was the Noisia remix. There was the Knife Party remix. Skrillex remix.
Nerds, maybe?
No,
I don't
nah.
know.
There were 4 tracks released beforehand: Noisia, Knife Party, Skrillex, and then there was the Tarantula. Wow, Tarantula. Jesus Christ, I'm having a stroke. There was the Tarantula remix by, who was it again? It was by Icarus, who I still haven't heard anything else from. And it's not like people thought that the songs were bad. I thought that the Noisia remix was great right off the bat, but it wasn't really too similar to the original, besides the fact that it had the vocals in it. The Knife Party remix of Blood Sugar was an event. When it was released, it caused so much fucking controversy. Virtual Riot spoke out. He got drunk and tweeted, "Why is this Blood Sugar remix so bad?"
I didn't hear about this. So
Yeah. It was a big thing, and they responded, and then the next day he was like, "Oof, I got drunk and just shat on my idols. I'm sorry. It was a big thing, and there were more producers that were replying, that were agreeing with him. So you had producers shitting on this thing left and right. You had fans being disappointed. And I kind of see why. Rob got on Twitter and said something like, "Not every remix has to be the Sistine Chapel. It could just be us messing with stems," and that's fair. But at the same time, they hadn't released anything at this point since fucking Battle Sirens back in 2016. And it's, like, it's literally been almost 2 years. And the first thing that they put out is, I don't want to, kind of just a lazy house remix. So I see why a lot of people were disappointed there. The Icarus remix was really nothing special, even when compared to like everything else on here. That now that's officially out, it's really just kind of a basic house remix. And then the Skrillex remix, I think, got the most positive reception. But I see why a lot of people would have rather had something other than Future Bass. So yeah, there were 6 months of build-up, and with each release, people just got more and more disappointed. But now that's finally out, IMG, I'm gonna let you lead. What'd you think?
Well, there's some that are just kind of forgettable. The ones that kind of stand out, Devin Townsend's remix of Crush, Gravit's remix of Propane Nightmares, AN21's remix of The Island, which is actually, I think, one of the hidden gems of this, honestly. I like it a lot.
Huh.
The Moby remix of, I forget what song.
Vault.
Vault, that's what it was. And then Atlas's remix of Streamline, I want to say.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I got it. Yay. I'm
Hell
not
yeah.
even looking at the track list, boys. But yeah, those are kind of my top tracks off it. Otherwise, everything else is just kind of, ranges from it's okay, but more forgettable, or just absolute garbage.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, what tracks are you talking about there? Curious.
I don't even remember, honestly.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I've kind of got a different list of highlights. Except I think every sane person should have the Gravitz remix of Propane Nightmares and the Devin Townsend remix of Crush on their tops list. Somehow Naughty Step put the Devin Townsend one like near the bottom of his list. I think like he never officially ranked it, but he said it was one of his least favorites. So I don't know what the fuck, but
Naughty Step follow up. We gotta ask him.
yeah, whenever he'll probably come back on an episode at some point in the future. But yeah, definitely have to ask him about that. Those two remixes, they're back to back on the album, and they're both really phenomenal. I think. I love when Devin Townsend comes in with his kind of more screaming vocals on the back end of Crush. I never thought I needed a pure like rock version of it, but honestly I like it more than the original, and it's hard to say if I like the Gravitz remix more than the original Propane Nightmares, because that's a really memorable, great track. But the fact is it's close. This is probably my favorite Gravitz track, just period.
Yeah.
I love the vocals that he did on that, and the drops are super exciting. I will say I didn't really like the AN21 remix all that much. I don't hate it. I see a lot of people saying that, it's really bad, and I guess I like it in the fact that it really flips the original on its head while still keeping a lot of the elements, but I don't know, I just don't really see it as all that engaging or interesting.
Yeah.
Because, it's just sort of like the bass noises. I'm not gonna imitate it with my voice, but like that just kind of coming in the drop, it just don't really it doesn't really feel like anything all that special to me.
Yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from on that. So.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of other highlights, there was this 9,000 Miles remix by Elk Klein, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's
the 8-minute one.
Yeah, the 8-minute one with like the like those long like da noises that come in every once in a while. I'm kind of a sucker for long progressive house tracks. And honestly, this is I don't know. There's something about it that just really kind of connects with me, and makes I like it when I'm just sort of walking around or driving or whatever. Whenever I'm going somewhere, having this track in the background makes me feel like there's purpose for that, even if I'm just going to get lunch, which is kind of funny. But so yeah, I like that one more than other people do, I think. And then other highlights. The other big one, I do like the Witchcraft remix that the Pegboard Nerds did. I see a lot of mixed feelings for that. A lot of people call it super disjointed, which I understand because it is. But by the same token, it's so much fun that I'm not really bugged by that.
I can't believe it's not Bro Step.
Exactly. What's the genre for it? House.
It's like, I think it's just complextro electro house.
Because I feel like it's a little too fast for house, but I don't know. Maybe it's not.
I don't know. We'll look it up later on our handy dandy genre sheet.
Hell yeah. So yeah. Witchcraft's remix by the Pegboard Nerds, big fan. The only track that I really outright don't like here, I mean, like, I guess there's a couple. The Skrillex remix, depending on my mood, the vocal, like the high pitched vocals, can annoy me, but other times I like it a lot, so I don't even know where to put it. The Knife Party remix of Blood Sugar, to be honest, has slightly grown on me. I don't know, there's something about the way the back half of the drops are structured. That's kind of, it's got a nice flow to it, but like when it stops just being a 4-kick pattern and that's it, and more percussion's introduced, like, then it gets a little more danceable for me. But I don't know, like, I still would have hoped for something better from Knife Party. And then the only one that I really don't like is the Matrix and Future Bound remix of Watercolor.
That remix.
Yeah, and that's just because I feel like they took the original drop and then they just extracted the melody out of it and made it a one-note thing, and I just don't understand what the point of what they were doing was. I mean, it seriously just does feel like they took one of the most iconic bits of the original out, and like, bam, Matrix and Future Bound remix.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, but there's not a lot I have to say about the other stuff on here. So overall, is this thing like a worthy comeback album for one of the most influential D&B bands of all time? No,
It's
not really.
in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, like some tracks do it justice, like Grabbits and Devin Townsend, and I like what the Pegboard Nerds did too. But I don't know, for the most part, a lot of these tracks are just the worst thing that you can be, which is forgettable. So I'm hoping that their next album is better than this, so that way we can kind of mark this in history as, like a transitional thing, like something to tide us over. And then when they do release something, it's, kind of a better, grander comeback.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we fucking go.
We did it, yo.
I'm really glad you made the decision to split this in 2 parts, because we just did half the music, only half of it, and we're at 1 hour and 18 minutes, so...
Yeah, we would have been here all night, probably.
Basically, literally 2 hours. No one's gonna watch that shit, so... Tune in, I don't know when...
Next week.
Yeah, next week, so, yeah, so we're doing weekly episodes,
just for this one.
Yeah, just for this 2-part special. We're gonna
and then technically episode 11, because it's literally right on the heels of it. So
yeah, I mean, we're doing that. I mean, that's true. But like we're doing episode 10, and then we're doing episode 10.5 with this kind of 2-part special thing. For episode 11, we've had a guest lined up for about a month now, so look forward to that. We're gonna be, if you're not so much into the music review type stuff and you're more into the artist interviews that we do on here, then you can look forward to something next episode. This is more just for celebrating getting to 10 episodes, because
we did it and we didn't just die.
Exactly. We didn't collapse on the spot when recording.
Yeah.
I didn't have a heart attack when Dumu got in the voice chat for the first time. That's an achievement.
That was an achievement.
Yeah. So yeah, expect better things throughout the next 10 episodes because god damn it, we're gonna make it to 20. I swear on it. And this time, instead of just being good from, episode 5 on, they're all gonna be good. So more consistent quality coming your way.
Yay.
As always, our links are going to be in the description, as well as Spotify links to every album, EP, and single that we talked about here, as long as they're on Spotify, which I'm positive all of these are.
Yeah.
Be sure to like I know begging for likes sucks, but if you like and comment, it does mean a lot to us because I'll be honest, it's pretty empty down there most of the time. So if you comment, we will respond, and that's a promise.
Yes.
Or at least I will. One of us will. Maybe both. Who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week when we talk about even more music that hasn't been relevant in months. But until then, we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. See y'all.
Yeet.